a regular handshake, okay? You're telling someone, again, you're a strong, confident young person. You are to be taken seriously. If I go over to shake someone's hand, you don't stand. And I do something like that. We maybe should sit, okay? And I do something like this where there's all this space here. I'm projecting a weakness in my personality, or she's projecting one to me, which in business, I can say, oh, okay, I can manipulate this lady. I can take advantage of her. She's not strong, she's not confident, she's not projecting or telling me anything like that. But if she goes in like this and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a horse of a different color, isn't it? That's a totally different story going on here. And when the palms are facing out, it's an even Steven handshake. But let's say I were to come over to greet her, and I went, oh, it's so nice to meet you. Lindsay, Chelsea, that's all this one. Lindsay. And I put my palm of my hand facing the ceiling, and the palm of her hand facing the floor. I'm basically telling her, just like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. Like this, oh, like it's nothing. So basically, I told her that I'm going to totally rip her to shreds, manipulate her, and she won't even know what hit her. It'll be like Olivia Pope all over again, okay? 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 But if I go like this, it's even Steven. If someone does this to you, and it may happen to you, you just smile and twist your wrist back and say, not on my watch. But you're not going to say those words because you can't say them, because it's all little. But you can twist your wrist and say it with your eyes and say it with your body language. That's why this is so important. In the first 10 seconds of greeting someone, all of this is happening, and you don't even realize it. It's so cool and so important and so fun because it's so neat. Thank you, Lindsay. Now, a lot of people are scared to make a self-introduction. They're like, oh my gosh, I have to go up to that person, I have to tell them who I am. It's the easiest thing in the world because basically you're saying what you know best, which is your first and your last name. Right? You're not having to say the Gettysburg Address or anything crazy like that. You don't have to remember like all the facts about the state of Ohio that you learned in 4th grade. Okay? You're just basically saying your first and last name. And who knows how to say it better than you do? Right? And so I don't want you to be scared to do something like this. If I go over to someone and introduce myself, they're not going to shoo me away. They're not going to be rude. They're not going to be disrespectful to me. They're going to want to greet me as well. So you have to realize this should not be a scary thing. And you want to practice as much as possible because you're going to be in a situation just like I was. Everybody's in situations where you want to meet someone. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to meet him. Okay? Have you ever heard of the set, Ready Set? The group Ready Set? Okay, they play at the Grog Shop all the time by my house. So when they played there, I went there with my daughter and I got to meet Jordan. Okay? And I'm like, I have to meet Jordan. He's the head singer, Jordan. Not that Jordan, another Jordan. Okay, this is a Jordan. Okay? So I would go, hi, my name is, I didn't say Mrs. because he was like, my name is Catherine Holloway, I love your music, blah, blah, blah. And I stuck my hand out to shake his hand, and I knew that I was going to get the opportunity to meet him because they had like meet and greets after the concert at the Grog Shop. So I came up like with a question to ask him, like in case I get to meet him. I came prepared for that moment. So you want to remember that if you know you're going to a concert, if you're going to see Taylor Swift in June down in downtown Cleveland or something like that, you never know when you're going to get to meet someone. You never know when you're going to be at a club, a restaurant, the mall, and someone's going to be walking by and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to meet this person. Especially this year in Cleveland, are we getting the Republican convention here? There's going to be lots of different fun people going through our county. So you never know if you're going to be at South Park or where you're going to be at, and you're going to run into someone, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to meet that person. This is like an amazing moment in time, okay? So to practice making a self-introduction now is a really important thing to do, okay? So I'm pretty much sure that all of you know each other in some form or fashion, but we're just going to pretend you don't. So I'm going to have you, my special friend, who I don't even know now, but I'm going to have you just go and introduce yourself to anyone you want. Preferably someone you don't know, and I'm assuming that there may be one person here you don't know, but if not, it can be someone you know, of course. Oh, and you're injured too, how lovely. I didn't realize that till I
don't know. Hi, my name's Brenda.
Oh, what? Now, what did I say not to do? Oh, you just like, wow. I'm going for the kill. Here's my hand. Let's shake it. Can we do it again?
Okay.
Did you want your heart to be open?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, just to be sure. Okay, yes. Why don't you? No, you can come back to her, but introduction. You're like, oh yes, I would love to, Mrs. Holloway. Okay, you can walk over here. I'm going to make her feel comfortable. Put your hands in front of your face.
Hi, my name is Sabrina. I'm Caitlin Murphy.
And you have to say your last name too. Remember, she doesn't know you. I know, that's why this is fun when you do it with people you know, because it kind of like get a little lax. But I like your handshake. It was very nice. And I like the redo that you actually kept your hands here. The allowed her to stand up. Because she's like, I saw the look on your face, but you sort of like, okay, like what should I be doing here? Should I stand up or should I shake your hand? Like which comes first, chicken or the egg, right? Right. Okay, you did a great job. Thank you. Yay, my friends here. Wonderful. Now, what's really nice is at the end of the program or any time, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask me anything that you want to ask me, okay? I love giving out information and talking about how wonderful manners are. I have lots of things up here that I'm not going to be able to hold everything up, but you're more than welcome to come up and look at these beautiful items. I have wonderful forks and spoons and plates and just fun things that I like to collect. Everybody has their things that they like to collect. I like to collect silverware, okay? So I have a wonderful strawberry fork that was used just to eat strawberries with in the olden days, a fork for lemons and limes and all sorts of fun things. So we definitely want to, at the end, feel free to come up here and look at anything that you want to look at. I have beautiful pictures over here, laminated, of different kinds of pieces of silverware. Some show you all the different forks and knives that were used at one time. Okay, so I want to go a little further. We'll come back to a little bit about business etiquette. There's one thing I wanted to share before we go into actual dining about the networking event. When you go to a networking event, you always want to go not hungry, which means I want you to eat an apple, some crackers, or something before you go to the event. Because what happens is that you get invited to a networking event, you know there's going to be food there and drink, okay? And you're going to go like, oh, I'll just eat when I get there. What happens is that by the time you get there around 5, 6 o'clock, you're so famished that you just like go straight to the food bar. So you need to make sure that you eat, so when you get there, you're really actually networking when you're there. You're not just there to eat and get free food and drink and things like that. So you have to make sure that you go with something in your stomach. And I know it's enticing, why do they have food there? The food there is actually there to sort of like trick you, right? How can you really, in a business suit or even in your beautiful blue shirts, how can you really like eat a chicken wing or something nice and have a conversation with someone getting business done? You just can't do it. Some of the food there is just supposed to be there. It's not really for you to eat. And I don't know about you, but when I eat chicken wings and ribs, I want to like have my jeans on, I want to be able to enjoy it, I want to get all the sauce all over my face, meat in my teeth. You know, it's a fun part of eating those kind of foods. You don't want to have to worry about, you know, do I have chicken meat in my teeth while you're talking to someone about business? Okay? Now, if you go there with a friend, which is always great to do, you want to make sure that you don't always stay with that friend at the event. You're there to meet new people, to network, not to have a little chit-chat time with your girlfriend at a networking event. You can do that at any time. Now, some of you, as you go through this couple years, you're going to get business cards. So I want to make sure that when you get business cards that you take them with you to a networking event. People are going to ask, you know, how can they contact you? You're going to have something written out on some adorable business card. Not everybody uses a computer, has a smartphone, is as high-tech as you think they are. So a lot of people like the good old-fashioned business card, so you want to be prepared. And you have to have a system. So my system is, and when I come back around I'll show you, I have 2 pockets. You always want to go, not with a big old backpack purse, which I see a lot of you carry today, which is fine, but when you go to a networking event, you want to really slim it down a little bit. You want to have a little system on how to get your business cards out as fast as possible. So my method is that I always wear a jacket with 2 pockets. This pocket on my right-hand side, because I give it out with my right hand, I'm right-handed, I have my business cards facing out in my pocket. So when I go into my pocket and somebody asks me for my business card, I can feel the front of it, and I can go like this and keep my eye contact on that person and hand them my business card and not have to worry about fumbling down here, losing the eye contact, losing the conversation, having that break in the conversation because I'm digging, trying to find something. Okay? If you're a gentleman,